have you along. And we are experiencing some technical difficulties with some of our participants that want to come on tonight. Bobby Dalton has joined us. How are you, Bobby? Can't hear you, Bobby. Bobby. Hello, Bobby. You're muted.
How's that?
That's much better. How you doing, Bobby?
Well, I can't complain, Matt. Getting on a little chilly side up here in the mountains, but other than that, I ain't complaining. Feeling better, my foot's getting better, and I'm ready to roll.
Good. Well, we got a big show this weekend. I am dealing with some technical difficulties. We got some guests coming on. Let's see, Mickey Phelps actually trying to get in right now. Let's see. The room open. I know we're broadcasting live. Joey Nugs is here. And Casey Fox is going to join us here in a little bit too.
Oh, some class.
Okay, so I got Bobby, got Joey Nugs is with us. Thank you,
Joey.
Greetings and salutations. Shouts to the AIWF, all affiliates worldwide. Welcome. Getting ready for Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble, gobble to all you jive turkeys out there in the world.
That's awesome, man.
What's that, Bobby Dalton?
How's it going, Mr. Nugs?
Pretty good. How are you today, kind sir?
Well, I can't complain. I'm looking forward to Saturday night, but I'll tell you what, anybody that comes, they better bundle up because it's supposed to drop about 40 degrees from now to Saturday.
Yeah, it is. It's we're even getting that down here in Charlotte too. But anyway, guys, I guess we get the formal introductions going. Good evening, wrestling fans, live from the PWD studios in the lovely, beautiful Concord, North Carolina. Welcome to AIWF Ringside Wrestling. All right, I see Casey Fox is here. Kevin Stryker is here. We got Joey Nugs, Bobby Dalton, and even Mickey Fulp is trying to get in. And he said here, let me take a. Okay, so Mickey will be joining us directly, I guess. I'm not going to read that out loud on the air, but good evening, everybody. So look, let's go ahead and jump into the announcements because we have got a lot of news. We got big breaking news for you fans tonight. It's something that I think is going to kind of throw a monkey wrench in everybody's plans, but nonetheless, we're going to get right into it. So let me get the old slideshow going here, and we will get started. For your advertising inquiries with AIWF Mid-Atlantic, including the AIWF Roku channel, please shoot us a line at AIWF20@hotmail.com. For what you normally spend on Starbucks in a month, we can get you a great advertising deal across all our platforms, not only this program, but our Roku channel. We can get you some live advertising at the shows. And it's certainly we are value-based. So if you want to hit us up on the email address that you see there on your screen, you can do that. Also, you can see head referee Darren at our shows, or if you can catch Commissioner Rick Diesel running around the shows, you can also hit him up too, and we can get you a great deal on some advertising. All right, our friends at Shockwave Wrestling, always take a look at their logo, even if I don't have any show announcements, which I do not. And AIWF Superfan Madison has joined us as well. So we welcome her. She's coming. You better watch it. She's a mean one. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on around the territories right now. These are the announcements I had, and I saw a couple of announcements pop up in the boardroom today. I am sorry, guys, that I was not able to grab those. So if you could get them on earlier in the week, it'd be great, because today I was just busy at my shoot job, and for the guys that are in the business. And I just moved over from my shoot computer to my hobby computer, and so I was not able to add any more. But SWF presents Live Pro Wrestling Friday, November 19th. That's tomorrow night. That is coming to you from the Gypsy Joe Arena in Tacoma, Tennessee. 106 Southside Drive. All tickets are $10. Kids 5 and under are free. What a great value. Doors open at 6 p.m. and the bell time's 8:05 and the throwback to the old TBS start time. So you got to love those guys. And interestingly enough, the Gypsy Joe Arena is quite the hotbed for professional wrestling these days, as we seem to have a lot of different promotions, or it seems like it anyway, running out of that building. So if you're in the Tacoma, Tennessee area, and and it's not too cold this weekend, of course, the action will be red hot inside the Gypsy Joe Arena, and that is tomorrow night, 8:05 bell time for SWF Pro Wrestling. Tennessee Hall Pro Wrestling, one of our longtime AIWF Mid-Atlantic affiliates, presents Thanksgiving's Throwdown this Saturday night, November 20th at the Victory Center in Morrison, Tennessee. That's 5542 Manchester Highway. Doors open at 6:30. Bell times at 7:30. Adults $8. Children 6 to 12 free. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me let half the crowd in free. Children 6 to 12 are $6. Kids 5 and under are free. And that's Thanksgiving Throwdown presented by our friends at Tennessee All Pro Wrestling. Also, Primitive Pro Wrestling. I like this. When I grew up in the Baptist church, you get the connection here? Okay, so it caught my eye, and I wanted to make sure we got here. PPW is coming your way this Saturday night, November 20th, at the Knights of the Columbus in Bedford, Indiana. So one a little farther out of the way. Look at that. Kamala Jr. is on the card. Victor Petrov against Big Jack Wilder, who looks like he's bringing an axe to the ring, lumberjack guy. So you definitely want to watch out for him. And John Anderson versus Old Black Rose. The event is called Stay Fearless. It's sponsored by JB Barbecue and More, Butt Smoking Good. And that comes your way for you folks in Bedford, Indiana. Insert your joke here. Tickets are just $10, available now on PPW's Facebook page. Doors open at 6:30, bell times at 7 p.m. for that one in Bedford, Indiana. Looks like it will be a blast. Get out and support your local indie wrestling. November 28th, No Limits Pro presents their 1-year anniversary. Tickets are $15 for this one. This is at 106 Southside Street in Tacoma, Tennessee as well. Doors at 5 p.m. They're saying ages 21 and over for this event, for the 1-year anniversary of No Limit Pro Wrestling. And Kevin Stryker has mentioned in the past few weeks that he might be attending that show. So
road trip.
I have no idea even where Tacoma, Tennessee is. I even stumped TR Superstar on that a couple of months ago. So, but it's at the Gypsy Joe Arena.
That's a wonderful day and age of GPS.
Well, yeah, but I'm currently
Does anyone have a picture of what the Gypsy Joe Arena actually looks like?
No, but we could probably Google it if somebody wants.
I'd like to see it. Is it just a warehouse building or shopping mall? What exactly is the Gypsy Joe Arena?
It probably moves around like all the rest of them does.
Yeah.
It's probably warmer than Veterans Park is.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's true. Veterans Park is a little chilly during the winter, that's for sure, and a little hot during the summer.
It's good to be a manager. You get to wear a dress suit when the rest of them are running around in their underwear.
Yeah, exactly. But buddy, that will come back to haunt you come summertime. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, they don't make a manager short set. So
speaking of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, this is what we're here to talk about, and we've got everybody on the panel here. A big event coming your way. It's our salute to the veterans. This weekend is, we were originally scheduled to show for this past Saturday night, but we had to move it because of schedule conflicts. First match on the card, Dirty Joe will take on David Parrish, who I believe we saw during the fair show. Panel, I'm asking your expert opinions. What do you know about these guys? What are your comments on this matchup that we've got coming up Saturday night?
Well, honestly, go ahead, one of y'all.
I've seen Dirty Joe several times. I've only seen David Parrish the once at the fair show. He kind of impressed me a little bit, but Dirty Joe's been on a good ride through the AIWF Mid-Atlantic here as of late, so I expect this to be a pretty good match.
I think it will be too.
familiar-
Go ahead, Bobby. I'm sorry.
I'm not really familiar. You're fine. I'm not really familiar with David, but you know, Dirty Joe, like I said, he is up and coming. And don't forget, isn't he not the one that has the money in the piggy bank?
That's right. He certainly does.
You never know what he's going to do, but I think this will be a good evenly matched one. I'm not going to call it either way. I'm just going to. I got a feeling this is going to be one that's going to be good technical, and I hope my voice is still intact after this because I got a feeling it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be wild. Going to be wild. Joey, Casey?
Yeah, so I think that this is going to be a very good matchup because I've seen Dirty Joe. He's great. Everybody knows that. But David is kind of like the underdog in this situation. He's up and coming, and I have seen him at my home show, Alexander County Championship Wrestling. And he knows what he's doing, so I think he's going to surprise a lot of people.
Wouldn't that be something, Casey, and panel, everybody else on the panel, if David Parrish, who's a relative unknown in our little territory, our neck of the woods, comes in and upsets the money in the piggy bank winner? I mean,
Yeah.
wow. I mean, that could shake the Mid-Atlantic division, you know, the Mid-Atlantic promotion all the way down to its very foundation, I would think.
I myself, if I was a betting man, I would put my money on Dirty Joe. It's just the reason is the man is aggressive. He's going to go out there. He's going to get the job done. Now, David Parrish, I don't know a lot about him, but I don't think just based on that stupid looking grin he has on his face by itself that he's not taking wrestling serious. He thinks he's waiting to get some ice cream from the ice cream truck.
Okay. Well, yeah, we've seen some funny looking promo photos on the show, so yeah, who knows? All right, let's see. Moving on.
But I might be wrong altogether.
You could be. We'll find out Saturday night.
I might really be.
Take a look at this one, guys. This is what we call a elimination match or a traditional Survivor Series match. No copyright infringement intended there, but it's going to be the team of Mickey Fulp, James Anthony, Benny Conley, and Jason Kincaid. I believe that's who that is going to take on the team of Caden Pierre, Marvelous Mason Matthews, Jamal the Titan, and Daniel Halen in an elimination match, folks. 4-on-4 elimination style. This one could go all night.
No doubt. I'm not saying nothing about it because after last week, I ain't saying jack. I'm just looking forward to this match.
Absolutely. And Nate Diamond has joined us. Man, this is a star-studded. I mean, I thought we'd pulled a coup when we got Casey Fox on here, but here comes Nate Diamond, and Mickey Fulp is trying to get on. We've got a pretty star-studded show here so far. Welcome, Nate.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. So any other analysis or predictions for this big Survivor Series type matchup coming up Saturday night?
So these are a lot of talented guys standing here. But Mickey Fulp, you know, he's coming to impress everybody like usual. So him and I think also Jamal Titan are two that I think will really have a lot to look forward to watching.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be rough. Mickey Fulp, of course, the AIWF Mid-Atlantic champion, leading his team into battle. And honestly, guys, you know how these elimination matches are. I don't know how many of you guys have been part of them or seen them or called them, but these things have a tendency to go a long time. You know, it could be a real test of endurance, I think. Well, you guys that are competitors in the ring, Nate, Casey, you have a better, you know, Kevin Stryker, who is, you know, is semi-retirement right now, but you guys have actually been in the ring. So when you're in a match and it's grinding on and on like that, even though you're not in there the entire time because it's a tag match, you get around the 20, 30-minute mark, it has to be a real gut check.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to this match, definitely. I think, in my opinion, I said it last week and I'm going to say it again. This would be a main event in any building across the country, in any arena, period. You're looking at a main event match. These guys are going to bring down the building. Also, in my opinion, you're looking at a cohesive unit already at what they call that, the Pink Posse. They're already used to working together as a cohesive unit, as a tag team. So I think they've got upper hand together. Plus, we talked about that psychological warfare that I don't know what's his name, Twinkle Toes has there over other people. While you're concentrating on if he's ready to give you a kiss or not, he's going to pin you right for that quick 1, 2, 3, and for a quick 1, 2, 3 and call it a day.
You talking about Caden Pierre?
Yeah, Caden Pierre. I think that I said it before and I said it again. I think that psychological warfare could be a big deciding factor in this match.
Hey, just a shot, not just to the people on the panel, but anybody listening, if you could reach out to, wait a minute. It looks like maybe our technical difficulties have been solved. It looks like one Mickey Fulp is going to be joining us here in just a second. As we're waiting for the upload, drum roll, please. Look, Christmas Snoopy's happy. Mickey's here. So, hey, I've got the house decked out for Christmas. I can't show it to you all, but yeah, I'm one of those people who decorates for Christmas before Thanksgiving. Send your complaints to AIWF20@hotmail.com. Where is Mickey? Mickey Fulp, are you there? I see his profile there. It looks like he's muted. Let me see if I can get him to unmute. Mickey, you're muted, and we are on a television show, so if you can turn on your camera, please, sir.
Am I here?
Yes, you are here.
Okay, Jesus. Man, technology is not my thing. Holy. But hello, everybody.
Good evening, champ.
What up, Mickey?
Boy, we've got the stars out tonight. Is it a coincidence there's going to be a lunar eclipse tonight? No, I don't think so. But Mickey, we were just talking about and getting everybody's analysis of your elimination style, Survivor Series style match, whatever you want to call it, coming Saturday night. As you, James Anthony, Jason Kincaid, Benny Conley take on the team of Caden Pierre, Marvelous Mason Matthews, Daniel Halen, and one Jamal the Titan. A lot of bad blood amongst these 8 guys, and I'm sure you've got some feelings going into this matchup.
Yeah, I do, man. I mean, and you said bad blood between everybody. Well, Jason Kincaid hasn't been in Mount Airy in so long, but he's pretty much, when me and Benny heard about this match, we both called a friend. Well, a friend of a friend, all that. Benny and Jason go way back. They're good friends, and they team up there in West Virginia. And James Anthony's obviously a personal friend of mine, so I know he's got some beef with Jamal the Titan. Benny and Daniel hate each other. Caden and Mason hate everybody. Everybody hates Caden and Mason. So hey, there actually is a lot of bad blood going into this. So we'll see how it goes, man. But if I was a betting man, and I'm not just saying this because it's my team, Matt, but I think I'd bet my money on Mickey Fulp, Benny Conley, Jason Kincaid, James Anthony to win this match. Clean sweep.
Wow. Okay. Clean sweep. 4-0. Okay. We'll see how that goes. But Mickey, what do you do when you're in a matchup like this and say you do get hurt? And these we've talked to right before you jumped on, we talked to our other, active in-ring wrestlers about when a match like this, it's just a grinding type affair. They tend to go 20, 30, 45 minutes a lot of times. When you're busted up, and I imagine that when you're 30, 35 minutes in, something like this can become a real gut check. And also, it goes so long, like a battle royal, it's real easy to get hurt. Would you agree with that statement?
I would. The good thing is it's not like a 30, 45, 60-minute Iron Man match where it's just 2 guys in there the entire time. You can tag in and out. You can get your rest periods in. You can get, whatever. So that's kind of the good thing about it. In this match, it probably will last a pretty good amount of time. So, but like I said, I mean, I'm very confident in the team that me and Benny have assembled with James Anthony, one of the best that AIWF Mid-Atlantic has ever seen. The guy's literally won every single championship you can win in the Mid-Atlantic. The Cruiserweight, the Mid-Atlantic title, the television title, tag team, everything. Like this guy, James is my guy, and then Benny, I mean, calling Jason Kincaid, a guy who's world traveled, has been to Japan and Mexico, Canada, and is actually a former mega heavyweight champion up there in West Virginia, which is one of our affiliates. So, I mean, Jason is I mean, there's a reason they call him the gift, because he is the gift that keeps on giving. So I'm very confident in this team. I think, even though it'll be a hard and grueling match, I still believe in that clean sweep.
I'll be glad personally, just from a selfish nature, to see Jason Kincaid back. He actually wrestled on the show the night I went into the Hall of Fame, so I consider him a personal good luck charm. I know it's kind of weird, but I'll be glad to see him back in action in AIWF Mid-Atlantic, no doubt. All right, let's move on to what else is going on. Ask and ye shall receive. Kevin Stryker is going to go up against Ty Tyson in a boot camp match. And for those of you who don't know, we'll just keep it simple. It's no DQ, no countouts, anything goes. Kevin Stryker, you have been on here for weeks and weeks and weeks now, bragging about beating Ty Tyson. Well, you're coming out of retirement for probably the 6th time this year. And sorry, I had to get that one in.
I'm sorry, Kevin. I'm not laughing at you.
It's not as many times as Smiling Diamond Dave's come out of retirement.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. But how in the world did you end up with this boot camp match, Kevin Stryker?
The hell if I know. I just know that I got the call one day last week saying, hey, we want to honor the heroes, and you're one of the unsung heroes of the AIWF, and we want to know if you would come in and take on Ty Tyson for this special show. And it's like, well, why not? I mean, I've basically beat him every single time that I've wrestled him, except maybe once or twice. So that's the reason why my service may be cutting in and out and everything like that. I've been in an undisclosed location down here at Fort Bragg. I've been going through the doctors. I've been going through physical therapy and everything, trying to get my back right. And that's going to be my one weakness and my one downfall. So I've got to be careful with that. But at the same time, I feel like I got what it takes to come out on top and to put Ty Tyson down yet once again.
Well, that's a little bit of breaking news, and I think I'll throw this to the panel, you guys. I mean, Kevin Stryker just told us he's down at Fort Bragg in Fayetteville. He's going to be there Saturday night, but if he's having some medical concerns, that's certainly I don't know if Ty Tyson's watching this program, but I'd be a little concerned. Nate Diamond, you've been in the ring with Ty Tyson plenty of times. You know how dangerous he is. Any advice or counsel that you could give Kevin Stryker as we head into this match?
You know, it's funny that you say that, because for me to give advice to Kevin, he's one of those that during my feud with Ty that I've reached out to asking him for advice. So I feel kind of on the other side of it to give him advice. But, you know, I could be wrong, and it's nothing against, no disrespect to Kevin, but I think Kevin's got it. Ty Tyson Ty is Ty, you know, but at the end of the day, I don't think Ty is clear over. I mean, he hasn't been in the ring since our match. And I mean, let's just face it and be honest. I mean, how really focused is Ty? So, I mean, Stryker, if I can say anything, I've watched you and I went back and watched videos, injury or no injury. I think that you go in here to Mount Airy and being one of those unsung heroes, and thank you for all that you've done for us. But I think that you've got this.
I appreciate that, brother.
Mickey Falk, Joey Nuggs, Casey Fox, any comments that you'd like to throw in?
He said he has a problem with his back. I think the true problem with his back is he has a yellow streak right up the middle of it. I don't even know why you're even bothering going to get in this match to begin with. Ty Tyson's going to beat you from pillar to post. I don't think in reality, you know the difference between a wristwatch and a wrist lock. I think you're making a big mistake getting in the ring there, Mr. Kevin Stryker, with this man.
Yep.
And I think that your time is numbered. And I think that when you get done at the end of the day, you're going to go into a permanent retirement where you might not ever lace those boots up again.
Damn,
But that's
son,
just
tell me
my
how you really
personal
feel.
Well,
opinion. You know
let's
that.
just put this out here, there, Mr. Joey Snugs. How about
What is a snugs
you
anyway?
you walk around with all this money and all this bling bling? Won't you put your money where your mouth is?
Where's that? My mouth's right here. I mean, where do you want me to put my
Exactly.
money?
Put your money where your mouth is, or quit writing checks that your ass can't cash.
Oh, I can
Oh,
write
Jesus
cash
Christ.
checks all day, but the end of the day is when you lose this match, are you going to, I'll tell you what, if you lose this match, you leave AIWF for good. You don't even come back there and sit and do commentary at the table no more.
Wait a minute.
Whoa,
Now.
whoa, whoa,
You don't even come in here
whoa,
no more. I don't have to hear you no more. Call me Joey
whoa,
Snugs.
Wait a minute now, Joey. I mean, he's part of my broadcast team. Let's not go
whoa.
banishing him from everything now.
Hey,
Matt,
I'll-
can
I'll
I
get
give
that.
my
So-
opinion? I mean, just that way we
so
can break
can I-
up the little thing here.
Go ahead, Mickey. What were you saying?
Let's break up the violence. Listen, guys, I know we're in the professional wrestling business. It's all about violence, but let's calm it down just a little bit. Let's be honest. If Joey was in person with Kevin, Kevin would beat his ass, but we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that. Listen, let's talk about the match of Saturday. Kevin Stryker, Ty Tyson. Now, I just want to say there's a lot of things that me and Nate Diamond do not agree on. But what Nate said about this match, I 100% agree on. I think Kevin has got this in the bag. And Kevin, we thank you for your service and everything you've done for this country. And we thank you for everything you've done for the fans.
Yes,
So
sir.
thank you, Kevin. And I hope you go out there and I hope you beat the snot out of Ty Tyson Saturday.
All right. All right, Casey Fox, anything you'd like to add to for analysis on this match?
Well, I think that Ty Tyson's spirit's probably still a little broken from not winning the title, so that's an advantage.
Mhm.
So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Matt.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. All right.
Hey, Matt.
I don't know why that had 2 slides. Go ahead.
I got something to say to Kevin Stryker, and I'm going to say this. I remember him when he first came into the business, and I've been kind of his fan ever since then. You guys don't take him lightly. I'm not saying that because he's my partner. I consider him a friend. I consider him a true American. And I will say this. If anybody thinks he's going to take this match lightly, you got another thing coming because he's going to be like a dog with a bite. He's going to come out. He's going to whoop somebody.
And let's remind a lot of our new fans might not know this, but our old school fans certainly do. Kevin Stryker is the man that broke Jumpin' Jimmy's leg, Jumpin' Jimmy Brooks, and put him out of professional wrestling.
Oh, man.
Never saw him again after that match at the Armory in Mount Airy. And I will never forget Jimmy screaming on the way out of that. That was just hideous.
Matt, I got to be honest with you, man. You mentioned Jumpin' Jimmy Brooks. I got 2 things about Jumpin' Jimmy. One, I went to high school with Jumpin' Jimmy's son. Interesting fact. And 2, I ran into Jumpin' Jimmy back in September. And I told him, I said, listen, you know, we're still at Veterans Park, Mount Airy. Anytime you want to come on up. And he said, all right, man, we'll see about that. So you never know. Jumpin' Jimmy might come back and sit in the audience and enjoy the show sometime.
Hey, I'd love to see him. I just don't know if I've got the pipes to do that introduction anymore. And so, because Jimmy required a very special introduction, and it was very hard on the larynx and the lungs. All right, look who's coming back this Saturday night. It's our friends from West Virginia, Mount Kilpus. They are big, they're strong, they're rough, and they're tough, and very friendly outside the ring, ladies and gentlemen. But once that bell rings, Katie, bar the door. And I mean, and don't take their kind looks of this beautiful artwork that we've got here to underestimate them. They're a couple of hosses. And Paulie Gilpis almost walked from West Virginia to Mount Airy one time when he couldn't get a ride. So talk about tough. I'm just going to throw it to you, panel, because we do have major breaking news coming up right after this slide, I believe. But thoughts on Mount Kilpis, and should our tag team champions Pro Wrestling DNA be worried because they're on their way back here?
Absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
I can tell you, Matt. I've known Mount Kilpis. I've known both Paulie Kilpis and Gannon Green since, God, they were in training. I literally, at a show in Fairmont, West Virginia back in 2019, when these two were not a tag team, these guys used to hate each other. I watched Gannon Green spear Paulie Kilpis into a river. I'm not even joking. The ring was on the outside by a dock. These two went on the dock, and Gannon speared Paulie into the river up in Fairmont, West Virginia, and they've been best friends ever since. And I'm gonna tell you, these guys are former Real Shoot Wrestling, or actually they're the current Real Shoot Wrestling, two-time Real Shoot Wrestling tag team champions up in West Virginia. And I'm gonna tell you, I know a lot of people look at Paulie, say, hey, he likes to hug people. He's a nice guy. Paulie has a real infatuation with hugging people. I don't know if you noticed that at the fair shows, but
yeah. Unfortunately, I've been on the receiving end of one of those hugs.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, he's a mean bastard when he gets in that mood, man. Mount Kilpis, I mean, they're one of my favorite tag teams on the independent scene right now. So I'm so glad to see them back in Mount Airy this coming Saturday.
I wonder, you talked about, Mickey, how they hated each other before that spear in the river. I wonder if when they get, if they had to ride out the dysentery they got for inhaling that water in that river in West Virginia, and they got to spend a lot of time together, and that's how they became friends.
Well, I think that was more about them spending time together on Kilpis Mountain. Listen, when you see Paulie on Saturday, he'll explain the whole Kilpis Mountain and his whole family to you. I promise you. But that man is willing to walk from Fairmont Mount Kilpis, West Virginia, to Mount Airy, North Carolina. That's at least a good 5-hour drive. So, I mean, the man's dedicated. You got to say that.
He is, Nate. You've had dealings with him. Joey Nuggs, you're recently back in AIWF Mid-Atlantic. Have you in your extensive travels around the country, have you ever run across this team?
No, I never have, and I honestly never have. But I'll tell you, I love tag team professional wrestling. The cohesive unit of two wrestlers that give up. They're unselfish right at the beginning, because everyone wants to be the heavyweight champion. They want to be a singles wrestler. But I mean, a lot of times, I mean, look at the stories that you hear time and time again of wrestlers that could have had a shot at being a heavyweight champion, but they weren't going to give it up because they had their brother there. They knew if they gave up and became the heavyweight champion, their brother probably wouldn't be booked no more professional wrestling. So yeah, so I love professional wrestling. Also, if you get a couple of guys that win and you manage them, you get paid double.
Oh, so maybe Joey Nuggs might be taking a look at Mount Kilpis this weekend and seeing about managing them. And I know if they're coming back, they've got their eyes on those tag team titles. They were in the Carson Memorial Tournament. They didn't make it to the finals, but they were certainly in the thick of it. So, if they're coming back, they've got gold on their mind. And so it'll be definitely interesting to see, and we will welcome back Mount Kilpis. What a great tag team. Now, moving on.
Hey, Matt,
what? Go right ahead.
Hey, I just want to talk about the Don Carson. Myself and my tag team partner, Josh Strong, we ended up facing them. And I'm going to piggyback off of Mickey a little bit. They don't let their size fool you based on their agility in the ring. It's amazing. I'll give credit where credit's due. What they can do in the ring. So if there's fans listening and watching, you definitely don't want to miss it.
It's gonna be wild anytime they're there. Okay, here's our breaking news story tonight, folks. And this match has generated a lot of attention since its announcement of its signing, especially since the Darlings of the Ring event back in September, when our own Casey Fox, who is joining us tonight, won the PGWA championship after a very hard-fought matchup with Elizabeth, made Elizabeth tap out, which I did not see coming. Elizabeth, a double tough individual. And Casey, you went through a lot to get that title, but then the announcement the same night that AIWF Mid-Atlantic was finally going to crown a women's champion. I know you were in a consideration for it. The match got signed. It was Ella Envy. It was set. We did analysis on it last week, deep analysis about, who we thought was going to win, what was going to happen, what was going to be the mindset. And then I get the news yesterday. Ella Envy is out this Saturday night due to a concussion. She was hurt at a show last weekend. So Ella Envy is not going to be in Mount Airy. Casey Fox, it looks like you're going to be by default unless something crazy happens. The first ever AIWF Mid-Atlantic Women's Champion. I know you don't want to win it that way. I know you want to win it in the ring. And so I know that coming into this, you're probably aware of this announcement. It's probably news to some of our fans, but Casey, just talk us through what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what's going through your mind right now.
So when I first heard this news, I was honestly disappointed because I was ready for Ella and I to have another go round. But, I hate she has a concussion. I hope she gets to healing soon. I don't want to win that way. I don't want to take things easy. So I don't know what's going to happen Saturday. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me how Ella is. She might have some tricks up her sleeve. She might send somebody out for me. I don't know what she's going to do. I mean, if I have to fight a boy for this championship, I'm not just taking it. That's not me. So whatever I have to do, I'm going to win it fair and square. I mean, I want that belt, but I'm not just having it handed to me.
Wow. Okay. So she'll fight a boy, man, reptile, orangutan, whatever it takes. Casey says she's going to win it in the ring. And I have been waiting, and you can see me glancing over at my cell phone from time to time because, I'm chit-chatting with AIWF management. I have not heard anything about any possible replacement or opponents at this time. Has anybody on this panel got a scoop for us tonight? Because I know we're all in the mix and chit-chatting, and you hear things, the wrestling rumor mill, telephone, tell a friend, tell a wrestler. So
Matt, to be honest with you, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just, you asked about the rumor mill for this women's title match tonight. And Casey, I know you're in here. I hope you listen to this, but I don't know this girl. I don't even know who it is, to be honest with you. I haven't heard the name, but I heard that one of our affiliates, Excalibur Championship Wrestling, is going to be sending a girl up to face Casey. So that's just what I've heard through the rumor mill. Got to take those rumors with a grain of salt. But I'm a former Excalibur television and junior heavyweight champion. I'm pretty close with that promotion. They're again an affiliate of the AIWF. So yep. I heard they might be sending somebody up for you, Casey.
Yeah, if I was you, Casey, I'd be ready for anything. I'm sure there's a lot of women chewing at the bit to be the first ever AIWF Mid-Atlantic Women's Champion. You're going to have your hands full that day, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Nikki.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Nick. Hey, that girl's name wouldn't be Jillian Snuggs, would it?
Again, I didn't hear a name. I just heard the Excalibur Championship Wrestling that runs out of Boone, North Carolina. Usually, they're going to be running. They're wanting to send somebody up to capture that women's Mid-Atlantic Championship. So again, it's a rumor. Just take it with a grain of salt. Rumors are like buttholes. Everybody has one to say. You know what I'm saying? So just
hey, for all we know, it could be sexy Cavina.
What, Bobby?
I said, for all we know, it could be sexy Cavina.
I don't know. Hey, it might be Katy Perry. Who knows? It could be anybody. Hell, they can resurrect the ghost of the fabulous Moolah. She might come. I don't know.
I don't know about that. Casey's. How long have you been in this sport, Casey? I don't even know if I'd want to put you up. 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah, I don't know if she's ready for the ghost of the fabulous Moolah right yet. I don't know about that. But because Moolah's pretty rough. That's like Jim Cornette said. Wow, that's stiff even for Moolah. But but Casey, I'm glad to hear you say that you want to fight somebody for this championship. I mean, so often in wrestling, we see a chance, somebody gets a bye in a tournament or whatever, and, a title just gets handed to somebody. It's really a breath of fresh air in this day and age that you're wanting to compete in that ring. And it sounds like XCW is sending somebody your way. The only thing is, though, Casey, this match has been announced for a couple of weeks, and I know you were preparing for Ella Envy. You had experience with Ella Envy. So what changes in your mindset, in your training regimen, how you go about your day-to-day preparation? We're only 48 hours away, and here you are competing for your second major championship in only a couple of months, and you don't know who your opponent is.
Yeah, it's kind of stressful because, you train, especially if you know who you're going to be wrestling against. You watch them before, you know what you're working with. I don't know who's going to be up against me. So, I'm just kind of going to be thrown out there blindly. So that's going to make things more difficult. But also it kind of gives me that extra, like, I want this even more because since it's put a wrench in my plans, it just means I have to fight hard for it.
Yeah.
Casey, the only thing that I could say about that is, and I didn't really get a chance to catch what all you said about my match or whatever, because I was through the backwoods of Fort Bragg and I missed what you said, but I will say this, that the unfortunate part is you might be at a little bit of a disadvantage. I still put my money on you because I've seen how you work, and you are a hell of talent. I give you kudos for the way that you wrestle and everything. But the disadvantage that you're going to have is the fact that you might not know who's coming up here to take you on, but whoever's coming up here to take you on knows who they're coming up here to take on. So they actually have a chance to study your tape and study your videos. So you're just going to have to stay strong like I know you are, keep your head on a swivel, and just put up one hell of a fight that I know that you know how to do.
Brought a smile to her face, Kevin Stryker.
Look,
all right. So Joey Nuggs, I hadn't heard from you on this match. Now you've been around wrestling probably as long or longer than myself and Kevin Stryker, maybe even Rick Diesel. I don't know, but you've been around a long time. In a situation like this, let's just say you are Casey's manager. What would you be in her ear? Here we are 48 hours away from bell time. She's going into the ring against who knows what. She said she'd fight anybody. So, for goodness sakes, somebody could, break a baboon loose from the zoo and bring it in there, or a kangaroo or something other that people used to get entertained by in the 30s, and bring her into the ring. How would you prepare if Casey was under your contract? How would you prepare her for this match?
You better be ready for anything. Honestly, you better have your conditioning up. You better have your cardio up. You don't know if you're going out there to wrestle for an hour. You have no idea what you're getting into. You don't know if you're going to be wrestling a bear, animal, or mineral. You better be prepared for anything out there, because they might throw anybody at you. You might have a giant come into that ring, steps over the top rope and grabs you and throws you right out the other side of the rope. What are you going to do then? You better be prepared for anything, literally, Casey, because you do not know who your opponent is. You cannot really prepare in any direction.
Maybe should Casey bring a roll of nickels in her boots or something?
You better be ready for anything, because you don't know who your opponent is. That's the worst of anything. You can't even prepare. You don't know if she's going to be 8 feet tall or 3 feet tall.
We all know how
you might have 3 midgets chasing you around the ring at the same time.
Oh no, you won't know any show Rick Diesel associated with.
No, we won't do that.
I'd like to see midget and women wrestle each other. I'm just kooky like that, though.
Oh wow, okay.
Wow, we don't want to get into that all that. Right,
I was going to say, Mickey Falk, can you direct him to the appropriate website?
Might know a website for you, Joey. I don't know, man. I might know one, but I got subscriptions to some
Midgetsandhotbabes.com. I've
weird
been there
stuff.
already.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I got a subscription to it, so I feel you.
Well, I'm sure that
The streaming service with 3D glasses.
Hey, speaking of streaming services, I wouldn't normally do this and swell anybody's heads up, but let's just face it. Those of you who are familiar with the television program that comes on HBO, The Righteous Gemstones, they did their first season a couple of years ago. John Goodman's on it. I believe Danny McBride created the show. Or Walton Scoggins is on it, or Goggins. I can't never get his
Goggins,
name.
yeah.
Uncle
Listen,
Baby
I'm a
did
fan of this show, Matt.
Huh?
I'm a huge fan of this show, so.
Okay, so let's just put it out there. Season 2 is coming out right after the first of the year, or maybe on New Year's Eve. It's somewhere at that time. And a member of our panel is going to be featured on the program this year. Give you one guess who that is. It's Miss Casey Fox. Yes, right. Indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, Kevin Phoenix tells us that he's going to be on the program too, but I don't know. Casey, when I was talking to you,
my mama get your autograph?
Casey hadn't gone to Hollywood quite yet. You might be able to still get her autograph. But Casey, can you, as a sidebar, I know this isn't directly wrestling related, but it is very interesting. Like, how did that come about? Did somebody spot you wrestling down around in the Charleston area and think you'd be a good fit in for that, or how did that happen?
So actually, somebody who had worked for the casting director before, that is a wrestler, messaged me and was like, hey, you should just send your info to this because they're looking for female wrestlers. So I was like, okay, and I had seen dozens of comments on the post, and I was like, they won't choose me, like, I'm only 20. I don't know if they'll choose me, whatever. So, I get an email back, and they're like, you've been chosen. This is the day, blah, blah, blah. And it was, like, such a short notice. Like, it was within a week, and, my parents go with me places and stuff, and they were so excited. So we get down there, and originally, like, what I was going to be doing was going to be, like, a tag match. It was going to be me and another girl versus 2 other girls. Well, they ended up changing it and ended up making me and Amy Love the only 2 wrestlers. So that's how I actually met Amy. It was down there, and then we found out we're from the same area. And so we were the only 2 wrestlers. And then so I was leaving that night, and I was walking like through the casting trailers, and this guy was like, you did so great, Casey. And I was like, you know my name? And he was like, yeah, I'm the director who chose you. And I was like, it was crazy. Like, it was just such a wonderful experience. And the girl who did my wardrobe, she like follows me on Instagram and everything. And she said, well, we put a note in your file how fun you were to work with and everything. So we hope to work with you again. So.
Hey, you never know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You never know, Casey. That's great. I mean, I was fortunate enough to actually vacation out in Hollywood this year, and like the broadcast nerd in me was in hog heaven out there. So for you to get just, even if Hollywood never comes and calls again, I got to tell you, I just am a complete mark for this because it's one of my favorite shows. The show really touched my heart. Yeah. It brings me a lot of joy. And so I'm just so happy for you. And for me, just me for the rest of my life, I can say, I've worked on shows with that girl, I know her, so that just to me is great. Mickey, you said you were a big fan of the show. Is anybody else here familiar with the Righteous Gemstones?
Y'all need to watch it.
I'm not, but I will definitely look it up and get caught up on it before season 2 comes out.
Yeah,
it's a very good show.
Yeah, HBO Max. Just look for the Righteous Gemstones. Yes. Search John Goodman or Danny McBride, and that'll get you there.
And while you're there, go ahead and watch Eastbound and Down by Danny McBride. And go ahead and watch Vice Principals, because anything Danny McBride makes is just wonderful. So, fun fact, I put in my application to be on that show, but they weren't interested in me. So, fun fact there.
Hey, don't feel bad, Mickey. I mean, maybe people like me and you are meant to just stay behind the scenes in showbiz. I'd rather hold a microphone than be in front of a camera any day.
Hey, I mean,
I
not
think
to
Danny
toot my
McBride
own
saw me
horn
and
or
said I was
anything.
ugly. So,
We said
Matt.
what?
Matt,
Not
you and me
to
got
toot my own horn or anything, but I have been in a movie myself.
Yeah, in the movie that Kevin Stryker was in, you can see on the AIWF Roku channel.
yeah, I've seen it. And Kevin, you were the best actor in that movie. Besides
Yeah,
Rick
he
Diesel.
was.
Besides
He
Rick
was.
Diesel, you were the best actor in that entire movie.
It sucks I got killed off too early.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was the best part of the movie.
You're ready for Bollywood.
Hey,
Man,
Matt.
I don't know, man. If you've not seen that, what's the name of that movie again? And Cut. Yeah. Rick Diesel's in that movie. Kevin Stryker's in that movie. Former manager Essence, or you might know her now as food truck lady Amanda, was in that movie. It was god awful, that's for sure.
Yes,
Thank
it
God
was.
it only lasted a little over an hour. But it's not the worst one I've ever seen. Some guys in Roanoke made a movie back in Roanoke, Virginia, made a movie back in the 90s called Super Badass, and it reeked too. It was bad, but not that they didn't work hard on it. It was just rough. But if you actually want to see somebody affiliated with your local wrestling promotion in a good TV show, look no farther than Casey Fox in season 2 of The Righteous Gemstones, coming up this January on HBO. I will warn you though, not really a show that you want to watch with the kiddos.
Nope.
It is a little bit crude. I'd say, well, it's a lot crude. Casey's shaking her head, no. Casey, I don't know. Is there anything else that you'd like that you can? I know you can't say, probably limited on what you can say, but anything else you can share about that experience with us? Because this is something that really doesn't happen that often. So I'd like to take advantage of it and pick your brain a little bit.
Well, it was really cool that Danny McBride was actually like in the room with us. He was watching off to the side, like I guess during production. And so when like he would walk in and out of the room of the building, I was like, oh my gosh, like I watch you on my TV. You were so cool. And then so when I got ready to leave, he was actually standing like a foot in front of me talking to somebody, and I was like, this is so crazy, and it was just wild. And it really made me feel like a superstar because I had my hair and makeup done, and between like every take somebody would come up to me and like fix my outfit and stuff. It was crazy.
That is pretty cool. And like when you were how many days did you have to shoot on that TV show, Casey?
So I only shot for 1 day, but I was down there for 2 days because we had to get COVID testing, and then like the first day we did wardrobe fittings and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cool. I really liked doing that, obviously.
Yeah, no kidding, man. It sounds like a blast. Like I've always thought that like a wardrobe, like if you're going on the set of a TV show, and I know we're getting away from wrestling, but it is wrestling related because we're talking to the PGWA champ, Casey Fox, who's challenging for the Mid-Atlantic Women's Championship. First time ever, history making that we've had somebody involved in a television program of this magnitude. But Casey, like I always imagine, like when you go for wardrobe fitting, you go in a trailer and there's a lot of costumes on a big rack, and they drape stuff over you that probably itches and is uncomfortable and that kind of stuff. Is that how it went, or is that just my imagination going kind of wild?
Honestly, you're not far off. So y'all know that if you've watched The Righteous Gemstones, their Locust Grove Church is filmed in an old Sears. So at the Citadel Mall in Charleston is where they actually film. It's actually in an old Sears. Mm-hmm. So I went in there, I'm looking around, like it's literally the old church, like it's the church and it's the old.
Oh no.
Serious. So everything was in there, kind of set up and everything. And then I walk out the door, and it was like it used to be an old shop or something. It looked like it was a sneaker store. Is where we did our wardrobe. So they had a bunch of clothes hanging up and everything. And they were like, so these are the looks that we have pulled for you, and this is what we're going to put on you. So the first thing they had me try on, I'm not even kidding, it was literally like the top was more scandalous than a bathing suit top that I normally wear. And I was just like, okay. I was like, well, I'll wear whatever because y'all are paying me. Like, I don't care. And they said that I was originally going to wear that, and then last minute they changed my outfit. And I'm glad they did, because what I was doing, even though I would have had like tape on me and stuff, I would not have been comfortable. And yeah, so.
So wow, okay, and like really, I mean, who are you first time on a set of a television program to tell somebody with 30 years experience in Hollywood, like, no, I don't want to wear that,
No,
so
I was like, I don't care. I was like, y'all can put me in whatever, I don't care.
yeah, I totally get that. Did you? And I think we touched base on this when we were talking privately before Darlings of the Ring, but I wanted to ask it in a public space too. Did you get to see any of the other stars in the show, the on-screen stars, your Walter Scoggins, your John Goodmans, what's the guy that plays Kelvin? Mickey, help me.
I don't remember his name, but he was in Pitch Perfect. That's
the guy from Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, in Workaholics. He was on Workaholics of Comedy Central too.
Yeah, that guy.
So I did. The only person that I got to see was he has the long hair and he's in the drum. He's the drummer in the band. I don't know his name.
Is he the one that played Ozzy in the Motley Crue the biopic on Netflix?
I don't know. I cannot remember his name. But
Is
I
he
was
like
literally. What were you saying?
No, I was just gonna say, is he like the? I know in the first season, the guy I'm thinking of, he was like the former Satanist that hung out with Calvin all the time.
Keith, are you thinking about the guy that played Keith?
No.
Yeah.
Hold on.
She's gonna look it up. So look, Bobby, Joey, Kevin, I don't want to leave you guys out of the conversation. We're talking as it's related to wrestling. We're talking to Casey about her experience on a big Hollywood TV show. If you've got questions, I would certainly encourage you to jump in the conversation. We don't want to leave you guys out, but we've got her.
Well, actually, I do.
I honestly thought I might have changed the subject or something. I got a phone call during the middle of that I answered, and I come back to it, and
Eli,
I had no audio. I couldn't hear anything y'all was saying, so I had to rejoin the program.
So Casey, do me a favor and talk a little bit so the camera will switch to you, and hold that phone up there so we can see that picture again.
Yeah, so I saw Eli, and I was like telling my mom about it. I was like, I know he's in there. She's like, that's the guy who plays the drums, Casey. And he was.
I thought he played the guitar.
Maybe he does. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I have to
He
look.
was like walking back and forth in between the trailers, and he came out the trailer, and this is so funny. So, I was like standing, slowly walking outside of Adam Devine's trailer because I love Kelvin, he's my favorite. And Amy and her husband Brad they heard me start talking to that director, and they thought that I had found Adam, and they were like, she found him, but it was just the director.
I don't want to be a good man. I want to be Jesus. When he said that line, I almost fell off the couch. I'm telling you. Oh, what a great play. So, Bobby, you said you had a question.
Well, actually, it's a comment. Casey, first of all, I'm sorry I didn't get to call your last match at Mount Airy due to being in the hospital, but I'm looking forward to Saturday night. I've been following you on Instagram. Your career is good, and I'm going to say this. You keep shooting for the stars. Look what AIWF did for Adam Page. You could be the next world heavyweight champion that comes out of AIWF. You keep going, and you keep going, because I'm getting tongue tied. You got a bright future.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, since it's been brought up, yeah, Adam Page did come through here, and it is so hard for me because I remember a show that I was actually shooting, doing camera work for. Joey Nugs, you might have been there, but back in like the 05, 06 down in Eastern North Carolina when Jimmy Love was going up against Adam Page. And
Yeah,
was
I remember
beating
that.
the tar out of him. And I'll never forget Jimmy Love hooking Adam Page in a chin lock, or a double reverse chin lock, and looking at me, and he goes, Matt Carter, I don't want to kill this kid. He needs to stop fighting me because I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. And every time I see Adam Page pop up on TV, I'm like, wow, man, it is amazing. The sky's really the limit. You know, if you're willing to work hard and bust your ass, it's no telling where you can go in this business. Joey?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have endless possibilities. I mean, you definitely keep focused on what you're going to do, and don't let anyone stop you from what you want to do either. I mean, look at there's so many people. I went to that the gathering too this past summer, and I've seen all kinds of wrestlers that are getting jobs now with some bigger companies. So they're definitely looking for talent throughout the Mid-Atlantic area.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, North Carolina's a hotbed for wrestling, always has been, basketball, and you know, and now the Carolinas, which, you know, it really, since they started building studios down in Wilmington and everything, is become a place that Hollywood looks, you know, to save some money on their taxes, come and shoot somewhere that's a little cheaper than Southern California, and you can't hardly blame them for that. So certainly the sky's the limit for anybody out there. But so guys, I mean, we are over time, even though we started a little bit late, but I'd like to remind everybody the big show, Honor Our Heroes, is this Saturday night. It's at Veterans Park. We'll get underway sometime around 7:30. You can take a look at the ticket prices. It's very affordable for the family. $8 will get you ringside on the floor. $6 general admission in the stands. And Casey Fox is going for it all. The AIWF Mid-Atlantic Women's Championship. This is the inaugural match, the crowning of the first ever women's champion. So 20 years from now, we might have 50 different champions. There can only be one first-time champion. But here's the kicker. As you can see on the graphic, we've been talking about it for the last 30 minutes. Ella Envy is out. She's got a concussion. Who's going to come and step up and face Casey Fox? We've heard from Mickey Fulp. XCW may be sending one of their girls up there. Casey, we've heard her say she'll fight a man, beast, anything. She's going to get in the ring and fight for that title. Who's it going to be? What's going to happen? The only way to find out is come join us this Saturday night at Veterans Park in Mount Airy. And there's a ton of other great matches on the card. The Survivor Series match, no copyright infringement intended. Mount Kilpis is going to be there. Kevin Stryker goes up against Ty Tyson in a boot camp match. And I found out today, and I didn't have enough time to get the materials together for the slideshow, Kevin Phoenix will be in action against the MMA pro wrestling combat sport expert that we all saw at the fair shows, Jack. Mickey Fulp, that is a huge, huge matchup, and I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Kevin Phoenix better be on the game.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, man, I mean, maybe I'm a little biased because me and Jack, we were both trained by the same guy, Mr. Coach Josh Gary. I was trained at the USIWF training facility in Cartersville, which is no longer around, but since then, Josh has moved to the AML Center and Winston-Salem. That's where Jack comes out of. You know, so I'm a little biased because we have the same trainer, but I'm going to tell you, man, I think Kevin, I've been in the ring with him many times. I've wrestled Kevin. I hope Kevin doesn't overlook Jack. I mean, this guy has a serious background, and we've seen over the years throughout all of professional wrestling, not just on the independence map, but, you know, even on television, WWE, AEW, TNA, you know, Ring of Honor, whatever, the MMA influence on wrestling, and Jack brings that to AIWF Mid-Atlantic this coming Saturday night, and I hope Kevin doesn't overlook him, because if he does, we may see an upset right there. You know, I'm not a betting man, but and I have nothing against Kevin Phoenix, but you know, I'm gonna put my money on Jack, man. I mean, that he's newer to the wrestling business, but I think he can get it done. He's legit. I think he can get it done. If there's, and that's nothing against Kevin, really nothing against Kevin, but I think Jack could get it done, and I think, you know, if he does, I think we're looking at the next star to come out of AIWF Mid-Atlantic, if I'm being honest.
Awesome. Well, we're going to see it this Saturday night. A ton of great matches on the card. We look forward to seeing you there. And, of course, if you're not in the Mid-Atlantic area and can't make it to Mount Airy, look around. There's independent wrestling everywhere, especially in the Carolinas and Virginia, even down into Georgia. You know, in this part of the country, nationwide, really, there's an indie promotion out there that needs your support, because although the big and we talk about this a lot, like your WWE, your AEW, they, you know, get a majority of their income with television revenue. For wrestlers at this level, for promotions at this level, on the indie level, it's still like it was in the territory days back in the 70s and 80s. It is a live event, attendance-driven business. So you want to make sure that you get out there and support your local indie promotion, wherever that may be around the country this weekend. Panel, I throw it to you. You can jump in wherever you want. Any final thoughts before we wrap it up for tonight?
I'm just looking forward to this weekend and what's coming up here in just now a little under 48 hours. But I do got a question for Joey Nuggs here. You threw out the idea that if I lose the match against Ty Tyson, that I got to leave AIWF permanently. No broadcasting, no commentary, no ring announcing, no nothing. What are you going to do if I win?
Oh,
I'm going to say, good job. Congratulations.
Does that mean you're snobby?
You ain't getting nothing out of me. Why are you always trying to get a free handout? You're still butthurt from many years ago that I wouldn't manage you. Will you let it go already?
Now you butthurt because I turned you down.
Oh, Lord. Oh, man, we're digging up old feuds from 15 years ago here,
His
folks.
story tells it a different way than it went, though.
Well, who knows what the future holds. But anyway, I'd like to thank you folks for joining us again this week for AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Of course, we want to see you at the matches this Saturday night, but we will be right back here next Thursday night right here on Facebook Live. Thank you so much for joining us. Before I give the Bob Cottle sign off, I want to thank Casey Fox for being here.
Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Casey.
Bobby Dalton, Kevin Stryker,
Women's wrestling.
Nate Diamond, everybody here that joined the panel tonight, and you're certainly all welcome whenever you want to come on the show on Thursday nights. You're certainly more than welcome. And Casey, if you win that championship, I'm going to expect you on this panel more often. I can tell you that, but we'll definitely work it out. But anyway, thank you, wrestling fans. Thanks for tuning in.
Good luck, Casey.
We will see you again next week at 7 p.m. on Thursday night Eastern right here for AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling or Ringside Wrestling. And until next time, so long for now.